So this is an explanation of my vertical aquaponics system in 2 litre bottles. I'm growing a variety of different foods. I've got lettuce and capsicum and chilies going. It's a vertical system, so basically pumps up water directly from a reservoir underneath and brings it to the top of the system and then drains through a bunch of 2 litre bottles. So there's a picture of it right there. This is what inspired me, this picture I found on the internet, and I thought, oh, that looks pretty easy, so I modified it a little bit, and the system I ended up coming up with was something like that. A bit ugly, but it's very practical. So basically that's the fish tank right there. Got a little overflow tap. You can turn it on and regulate the pressure of the water. So the water gets pumped to the top, gets split into two with this PVC T-section that I made into the 2 litre bottles, and then drips and drains down into the media, into the gravel. It continues on its way down into the next level, and then finally going back to where it all started, back into the fish tank. So how did I end up making this system? So I'm glad you asked. I'll show you here. I started off with a tripod system, so I got 3 bits of wood of equal length, tied it together with a bit of electrical wire, and then made like a pyramid shape. Wrapped it together with some more wire at the top, and then used a bit of a sturdy brace in the middle, just with some coat hanger, old coat hanger that I'd found. Drilled some holes in the wood and then twisted the coat hanger around. I then tied some twine all the way around, some rope or string, whatever you got around. It's very important to make it exactly an equilateral triangle to make it more sturdy and rigid. So that's the finished product there. Then once I finished that, then I started to put my bottles on. Just tested to see how strong the pump was, to make sure that it could pump the water to that height, and it was fine. So that's a close-up of the T-section I made with PVC. You can see it's just made with a couple of elbows. So the actual Coke bottles or soda pop bottles are just cut the bottom off, and then a plastic tumbler fits in and then holds it nicely with a little ridge there. Then drill lots of holes into the tumbler to allow the water to flow through. And then basically put the tumbler inside the Coke bottle that I had painted to stop any sunlight from getting through to the roots. Painted it silver so it would reflect the light as much as possible. Drilled a hole through the lid, and then poked the little hose through it. Cut it at an angle to allow it to go through. No glue or anything, just drilled a hole and then popped straight through. Then I got some cable tie wire and made another layer between the top and the middle. Then hung the bottles up there. Basically just drilled 2 holes into the Coke bottle and then fashioned it onto the wire. There you'll see it's fashioned onto the wood part there. Filled the little tumblers full of gravel, put some more wire onto it just so I could remove them easily if I needed to, and then got the little seedlings that I had started. Cut a cube of sponge out, a little cube, and then put the little small plant into the cube and then straight into the gravel. We did have to cover up some of the see-through tubing with some aluminium foil just to stop the heat from getting through to the water, because it was heating up the water and it was not too good for the fish. There's some small lettuce that we had going, and some bell pepper and some capsicum. And then there's the overall system as it all fits together. Now here's just a short final video just to show you how it all works together. So we got the garbage bin, which we are using for a fish tank, with some mesh covering just so the fish don't jump out. The water gets pumped right up to the top, and then splits into 2 with that PVC piping that I've made with some elbows. It is important to keep it level, just so the water goes evenly into both sides of the system. Now this PVC with an elbow on the end is just a guide, I guess, so you can guide the water wherever you like it. That's not really necessary for the system, but does help when they're young, just to make sure that the roots of the young plants do get the water that they need and the nutrients that they need. The water goes down to the next level. Just another little 7-Up bottle I have, because one of the lids started leaking, so that just covers the water dripping into it. And then we have the fish tank. Yeah, as I said, just covered up some of the holes because some of the fish were chopping out and a couple died. They're all pretty happy in there. The water's very clean. I haven't cleaned it at all since it's going. It's been going for months. The whole system does act as a really good biofilter. So I can turn that tap just on and off just to regulate the pressure and how much water goes into the system, rather than getting pumped straight back into the water. Another tap I have in the middle of the system, just so I can regulate the flow into the third bottle. So here I just take the guard off, or the guide off. The water's just going straight through that tube into the tumbler, or the gravel. So the guide just, yeah, as I say, so just can direct the water to wherever we want it, make sure that the juvenile plants do get the water that they need and don't shrivel up and die. So that shows the tumbler sitting on top of the 2-litre bottle. The whole system doesn't have a solid waste filter. I probably should have put a solid waste filter into it, because it does collect on top of the gravel, especially some of the smaller gravel, and it does, or has blocked up the system in the past. So a little solid waste filter, just maybe like a bottle filled with some sponge, would alleviate that I've used in other systems. Something I didn't really take into consideration, as well as the growth of the roots has been stopping some of the water from dripping through as well. So I've got a pump just pumping oxygen into the water for the fish's benefit, and then I've just got the power plugs in an ice cream tin, just to keep it out of the weather, because it does get a lot of rain over here. And that's been fine. I live in Manila in the Philippines, and we're getting torrential rains quite often, cyclones, tropical storms, and just keeping it in the tub like that has kept it all safe. And that's it. I do welcome any comments that you have. I would like to see your comments, and also any questions. I'll answer them as soon as I can. Please remember to like and subscribe. So, yep, thanks for looking.